So when I think about my journey to work at El Futuro, I think about the time that I spent in Argentina working with students there, and I kept coming into contact with people who had been through really difficult things, that had had really difficult situations in their life and in their family, and I found myself sitting with these people and thinking, I want to help.
So some of the challenges that immigrants face here when they come here are language, of course, different customs and different culture, prejudice against them, and often they're worried about things that are happening back where they've come from home. Often they're economic migrants, sometimes they're fleeing something worse.
There are still relatively few resources here for such a growing population, so a lot of the experiences that I had, especially when I was a teacher and now, is students don't really see themselves in some of the adults that they work with. I think there's a real strength in being able to say, you know, there's a Latino teacher or a Latino administrator or somebody that they can look up to, and that's something that's still missing, I think, in Durham or North Carolina, period.
They're often victimized because they don't understand the ropes here, and so people take advantage of them in lots of ways. People from Mexico come here and they often think that everything works here and that you can trust everyone here, and that's not true, of course. I've had to help them with lots of things, like yesterday I was at the dentist translating. I have taken all the children to get their passports who were born here. I've argued with landlords, and I've argued with accountants, tax people. I don't really, I guess maybe like that. Just do that and I'll make it super small.
So you have all these additional stressors of academics, of family, and then you don't have any outlets. So I think you can combine all of that stuff, and it forms a really, it's a significant burden that I think leads a lot of times to depression. I'd say I wouldn't want to put a percentage on it, but a significant number of the students I work with, 2% with symptoms of depression. Until they have a sense of connection, a sense of care from an adult that they're working with, I don't think they feel comfortable communicating these concerns. So I think there needs to be more awareness from the people who work in the school levels, who work throughout the community, of what these students are going through, in order to see those signs and pick up on them earlier. I think the real strength of El Futuro is accessibility. Accessibility in the sense that so many of the therapists that work there are familiar with the demographic, familiar with the culture. The real strength is the fact that it's 100% bilingual, the fact that there doesn't have to be any interpretation services provided for these families, for these students. With that piece comes a lot of cultural awareness, cultural competency that I think is really strong. So El Futuro being that source where families can be directed and families can get culturally sensitive therapists that work with them is an invaluable asset, because there are so few agencies in the area that do provide that service.
So I think that's the first step of welcoming them, is to say, this place is for you. And I think it's important for me to go into sessions remembering that this person is really valuable and this person is very loved. If we're able to sort of hold that space together, hopefully I'll be able to see that, but really the goal is hopefully they'll be able to see that in themselves. It's reminding them that I'm human, they're human, and trying to find that human point of connection, but hopefully in a way that honors their particular experience and honors their cultural background as well. I feel so privileged to sit in the same room as people who have taken incredible journeys, have faced hardships that most of us couldn't even imagine. And it's just amazing to see the transformation.
Word has gotten out about El Futuro, and we're starting to expand to look to help more people who have not always been able to come to us because we've not had enough space, and we've also just not had the platform to grow from. And we would learn together around case-based discussions about things that are happening in our practices and how can we work together to problem solve and to think through some cases together. With our training program, we're going to be able to train more people on site and across North Carolina. We're already starting this with a program we call La Mesita, and that's a program where we reach out across North Carolina through virtual video connections. We allow people to connect with us and gain skills and gain the ability to be able to help people in their context. That's really cool that we're able to now reach out beyond our walls, and so we can use technology, which has become a lot easier to use, and we can connect into primary care clinics, into schools, and into other settings where people can access us a lot better. One of the reasons why we're growing is just because the Latino community here in North Carolina is growing. Across the state and here in Durham, it's booming. And when they come here, we open our doors and we say, this is a safe place, this is a place of refuge and a place of healing. And people find that, and then they talk to their friends and they say, that's a place you can go, that's a place you can trust. We are going to grow into a new space in the Lakewood Shopping Center, and this is a space that's being revitalized, and it's being used right now already by some nonprofits who've moved in there to do similar types of services that complement the work that we do. So as we turn this way, I'll go down into the neighborhood that we oftentimes work with people from this area here. And so just being proximal to the neighborhood that we're serving is going to be really good. So our name is El Futuro, and that means the future. And when people come here, they're looking to grow a brighter future for their family. So yeah, so this is the green space. This is where we're going to have a therapeutic space. We're going to be able to have some places for people to lounge and recreate and kind of be together. People are getting better. They're finding themselves in a moment where they're hopeful, and we're hopeful too. And now getting to move to a new space where we can help more people, it's a moment in time that's pretty special.